Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cookbooks with Virginia. Do you want to know all about easy entertaining? Do you want to know about how to make dishes ahead and freeze? Do you want to know how you can leave work after a super busy day and then get home and have a fabulous dinner party? Well, of course you do. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Virginia Willis, and this is Cookbooks with Virginia. And my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. I've been smiling so much this morning. What an awesome problem to have, right? So the reason I am smiling so much is because I have a new friend, and he has a awesome new cookbook. His name is Bobby Shealy. And the name of the cookbook is A Taste of Living in Charleston. And in complete transparency, Bobby is also a client of my business, Culinary Media Training and Productions, that I co-own with Cynthia Graubart. But we were just talking. I feel like I've been his like drinking buddy and like rouse about town person for like 25 years. Like we have just completely hit it off. And y'all, I love this book. And I'm going to bring Bobby on, but I want to share with you what has been so cool about this is the reception for this book. And you're going to get to meet Bobby and find out all about him. But this book, it's on fire. And it's just so awesome to see something good happen to a good person. So let's just start out with a little bit of gratitude for good things happening to good people. Yay. All right. All right, Bobby. There you go. My ode to Bobby.
How are you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bobby. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show today.
Listen, I'm honored. Two things. Thank you so much for having me. And I wanted to thank you and Cynthia for coming to Charleston for my launch party, because that made it perfect for me. And y'all are indeed my dream team. And I love y'all so much.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So we have to, the first thing I want to say is, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, okay? Because I have to tell you, when we got your book, your cookbook launch was black tie optional, and I can guarantee you that was the first black tie optional cookbook launch party that I've ever been to, and yay you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was fun, and it was great. And I've had close to 150, 200 people there, as you know, and all my food served, and of course dancing and eating and drinking, which is Charleston and part of my life. But I'm from Charleston, actually an 11th generation Charlestonian. Love to cook. I'm also a real estate agent. I've been working with ERA Wilder Realty in Charleston. I've been an agent for 22 years. So I have a couple of careers going on. I love it. But after, a dinner party one night, somebody says, you ought to think about writing a cookbook, and a seed was planted from there.
That is so fantastic. And I love it. And, it's so funny because it really has been like working with you behind the scenes on some of this stuff. It has been such a lesson for me, right? Like you call us the dream team, but I got to tell you, like what you're doing and the way that you're getting out there and sharing your book has also been very inspiring to me. So I think it's always nice to look at other people that may not be in your exact area of work and just to draw inspiration from them, right? Like I think it's cool. It's so cool. You're a real estate agent. This isn't your training. This isn't what you've done your whole life. And yet you have written this amazing book with beautiful photography, that stories that resonate, and most importantly, really delicious recipes.
Thank you. Everybody that looks at this book, they're shocked because the photographs are so beautiful. Everybody says this is the most beautiful cookbook I've ever seen. Everybody says this could be a coffee table book. And my friend Pam Hennett did the photography, and this was her first ever doing food or anything for a book. Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? And I think the photography, when people open it to look at recipes and they see how gorgeous the photography is, they're like, oh my gosh, and then they're buying it,
Oh, it's just amazing. So it's not great food photography, but it really does have a sense of place, right?
Yeah.
Like you feel, there's great food photography to accompany the recipes, but there's also oh my gosh, like I love this on your Instagram. All your floral photography. Japonica. Love me a Camellia japonica.
Me too.
It's my favorite flower. You always have such beautiful flowers on your Instagram.
Thanks. I
Oh, and
love
look at
that.
this
That's
crab
another.
quiche. I want that. I want that for lunch. Can we make that happen?
I made that last week. It's so good. I hadn't made it in a while, and
Oh
it's
my gosh,
really
it's so
good.
good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how people can win a copy of the book, because here I am talking about this great book. So y'all, A Taste of Living in Charleston. If you would like to win a copy, I want you to head please to my Instagram feed, Virginia Willis, and you're going to see the cover of this book, and you're going to like me, and you're going to like Taste of Living in Charleston. And if you like me already, that's cool. And if you like Taste of Living in Charleston, that's cool too. Just go ahead and please enter. So enter to win, and all you have to do is tag a friend, and you can enter as many times as you want. I do ask you to do a separate entry for each one. That helps the algorithm like sort of pick out the winner. And then on Monday, we'll pick out a winner, and we'll send you a signed copy of A Taste of Living in Charleston. All right, here's my mama. Let's switch to mom. Finally got to meet you. Heard so much about you from Virginia and Cynthia, Virginia's mama.
I feel like I know her already.
I know. She was so, when I told her that you were going to be on today, she was so excited because she's definitely followed your story too. Okay, here we go. Jennifer Wattsman, mine has a permanent home on my cookbook stand. It's fabulous, just like Bobby. Yay! All right, that's cool. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Have you just loved to entertain your whole life? Have you always liked to cook? Like, how does someone who's not a chef or cookbook author wind up with such an incredible book?
I grew up in a family of partiers, I guess is the best way to put it. We grew up in Sullivan Island in the 60s, and my parents always entertained. My mother always fixed the food. I have a little blurb of it in the book, but when we were 10 years old, my father taught us how to make cocktails for their friends. So when their friends came over, we knew how to make the cocktails and took them to them. And, we thought that was great fun. And I was never allowed to
Alcohol
put
and child labor. I mean, it's really perfect. It's so Southern. It's so
Right.
Southern.
It is. And as time went on, and Daddy's number one rule was make everybody's first drink a double. And then after they get a buzz, switch them to cheap liquor. And that was what we were told till we graduated from high school when they had parties. I mean, we bartended for them from 10 years old to now. But as time went on, Mama, they grew through bigger parties, and she always did all the food. And I come from a long line of people who love to cook. And so that's how, I love to cook, and that's how it started.
That's fantastic. That is so cool, and I love that. That's such a great. There's so many great things about your dad, right? That's just the double to start. That's professional. That's whole other level. I mean, getting the kids to make the cocktails is also sort of like a little party trick, right?
Yeah. Well, and two, every glass was to be filled to the top with ice first. Then the double put in. Well, that left about that much for the mixer. And so I still mix them like that today when people come over.
I know. So that I'm on Weight Watchers, and my deal is that I think it's like 1 ounce or something is like 5 points, or it used to be. An ounce of liquor, an ounce of bourbon and ice is like hardly not enough to wet the ice. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's a starter. It's really not so much. So let's do this. So Cynthia and I, my dear friend, we were able to come to your black tie optional launch party. Truly fabulous, absolutely beautiful. You had examples of the recipes to serve, and you had so many delicious things. You had and the thing that I love about this, and I think that's what's resonating so much, is it's all doable. It's like real life food for real life people. There's nothing like messing things up, like someone like me trying to like chef it up or anything like that. Like they're straightforward recipes that are easy to prepare and delicious. Like, what more could you possibly want?
That was the goal of the book. And as you know, if I can cook it, so can you. And that's what I've told everybody, people that don't even have any cooking skills. I'm like, you can do this, just follow exactly what I've said. And I'm a taster too. And I try to teach people, if you like that flavor in it, that's already in it, put some in a cup and add it and see how you like it. Add some more of that, whether it's
Right.
paprika or sugar or whatever. But it's an easy cookbook, and everybody has, I've had so many people post recipes that they've already made. And some people did like 5 things out of the book for Thanksgiving. And they're like, all these were fabulous. And they were telling me which family member loved this and that and the other. So it's an easy book.
Oh, it is so good. Oh, Mama, look, he's got a recipe for sausage balls. So we'll have to try yours. Mama made some sausage balls for Thanksgiving. Okay, so we've got crab quiche, baked pineapple, sausage balls, tomato grits casserole. Then we got a whole lot of cocktails, including a dreamsicle mimosa. That sounds
Yeah.
addictive. Oh, this was delicious. The delicious liver pate.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh my
It's one of my
gosh, it's
favorites.
so good. You had that at the party. It's so
Yeah.
good.
And it's easy to make, and you can make 2 tins of it and use one and freeze one. So you can go back and, so you've really set for another party.
And that's what a lot of folks do, especially during the holidays. We're a little late for holiday party planning, but
Right.
I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll have a party on Friday and a party on Saturday. And
Yeah.
it's really smart because it allows you, I mean, things of course all have changed with COVID, but the part about that is so that you can have a manageable number of people night 1, a manageable number of people night 2. You or your caterer can prepare enough food for 2 parties. You only have to clean the house once.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff like that. So that's really
Yeah.
smart. Or like with this, you can make one pate for your party and then have another one to enjoy sort of after the fact and the party relief.
Yeah,
Party.
there's so many things from this cookbook that can be frozen and used later. And that's why it's so great, because you could even freeze your entree, your appetizer, your dessert, and then have to fix the salad maybe the day of and pull it all together. So it's really can make entertaining, whether it's for 4 people or 40, very easy.
No, it's so cool. Oh, this is so pretty, this baked brie, and I love that.
That is delicious, and it's so easy. And everybody loves that. But the best part of that, you know what it is? When you get all the brie out, all that bread has soaked in the brown sugar and the raspberry jam, and you just eat the bread. That's really good.
I think
it's not over when it's empty.
I know, and I swear to goodness, my stomach just growled. All right, fried green tomatoes, shrimp salad, hot spinach crab dip. Oh my gosh, some marinated shrimp. Okay, olive cheese ball and sandwich spread. And y'all, I mean, I think there's something so wonderfully retro about some of these recipes. And I mean that in a compliment, right? Like, I can't tell you the last time I saw olive cheese spread, but I tasted it at your party. I've been dreaming about it ever since. I bought the ingredients to make it yesterday. So are these some of the dishes that you grew up with?
Yeah, when we lived on Sullivan's Island, Mama made the cream cheese and olive, but I think it was just cream cheese and olive, and we had them as sandwiches. And I thought it was such a treat. And I can remember my sister Debbie and she was a couple years older. I was eating mine slower. Well, she'd eat hers, and then she'd try to take mine to eat the rest of mine. But this recipe, you think about it from years ago, and it was a childhood thing. But I've added to the recipe a stick of butter. I'm like, why wouldn't a stick of butter be great in this? It's good.
Why wouldn't a stick of butter go into
Right.
cream cheese? I mean, hell, it's natural, right?
Right. That's exactly right. I'm the chef, not the doctor. And then a little bit of onion, and then, add the olives to it. And it's so good. And you can do so many things with it.
It's so smart, and I love having something like that around for multiple reasons. So obviously, it's great for entertaining. It's super simple, not heavy lift, not very expensive, right? But also something like that, like what you said about you and your sister having that as a sandwich for lunch. Having something like that sort of at the ready and the go. That's a lovely thing, instead of like opening up the refrigerator and kind of scrambling around and thinking like,
Right.
what can I eat? In fact, it's so lovely. I mean, I've gotten out of the habit of it, but I know that like Cynthia and her husband Cliff, for example, they have a aperitif and appetizers like every night before dinner. And it sounds super fancy, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's just taking that moment to calm down and
Right.
be in the moment and
Right.
enjoy a little nibble with your loved one. And there's nothing fancy about that,
No,
right?
and it's great.
It's
Yeah.
actually like, Cynthia, I think it's practically meditation. I mean, it's meditation with bourbon, but it is meditation, right?
Right. Right. Sure.
Well, so you have the ingredients. Will you show us?
I
Will you
will.
show us
I'll
how to
do it.
make
Yep.
my fantasy cream cheese olive spread, the one I've
Yep.
been
I'm going
dreaming
to show
of?
it to you right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, go on down
There
there.
it is. Okay. And I'll tell y'all, of course, this was my grandmother's mixing bowl. So I'm
Oh,
so
that's
thrilled to be using it.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's very old. But before we got on, I mixed the cream cheese and the butter. Now I leave the butter out overnight, to soften. You can leave butter out, and the cream cheese takes about an hour or so to get soft. But I already mixed it together. But what I do when I say by hand, I put my hands in there and I squeeze it between my fingers. And I just do that rather than getting some other utensil. And then once that's done, and I do wash my hands, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I just add, some little bit of chopped onion, that in there. And, the olives, it says 20 black olives, 20 green olives. If it's 25, that's okay. If you're an olive lover, it's great. But here's the green olives. If you're an olive lover, you may not even share this with anybody. And here's the black olive.
Swear.
Here's the black olives. Now, it won't take, but I love this thing too. I do not know why, but I love it.
My mama loves something like that. Well, while you're making those, I'm going to tell everybody, everyone's just like saying all these compliments and all these great things about you. But if y'all have any questions while Bobby is making the cream cheese olive spread, please put them in the comments and I will ask him. So, oh my gosh, Bobby, that looks so good.
Yeah, it does. And it's almost blended. Hang on. The thing about it here, I'll show you. Doesn't it look like Christmas? It just reminds me.
It does look like Christmas.
It does look like Christmas. Then let me come back up here a minute and get with y'all.
A little bit, just a tad down, down. Okay, there you go. Thanks.
Then,
once a producer, always a producer.
Yeah, that's why you're there. Then we've got to taste it.
There you go. Oh my gosh,
I wish I could give you one.
I wish you could give me one.
No, well,
so y'all, we're gonna have the recipe up. I'll put the recipe up, but super simple. 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter, a half a small onion chopped, 20 black olives, 20 green olives with or without pimientos, and then you've got pecans.
Right. Well, let me show you this. You can, if you don't eat the whole bowl when you make it, you can serve it, on crackers. You can make sandwiches. It makes great cocktail sandwiches. Or voila, make a cheese ball.
Yay! Look how fabulous!
Yeah. Isn't that pretty? It's going
really
to a friend's
pretty.
house tomorrow night for their cocktail party. But isn't that great? And it's just so easy. It's so easy.
That is so great and so easy. And I mean, I can't help myself now, but like I want that. And I'm all about like, I don't, if it's something that's like full fat, sugar, salt, whatever, then I'll eat it. Like I feel like that we have to eat things, but I think that there's a way. I'm going to kind of look at that. I think that we could use Neufchâtel, which is just a little bit lighter, and they're not much you can do about that stick of butter, but like I just love. I'm not trying to dissect your recipe. What I'm trying to like share is that your the approach and the accessibility, I think, are what is so smart about this book. Like it really does feel like it's like real life cooking for real people. We've also got a sweet onion cheese dip, but look at this photography, y'all. Look at the beautiful. Now, okay, 11th generation Charlestonian.
Yeah.
So I think you're the guy to write the Charleston cookbook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If we go back to 1680, Captain Robert Seabrook came sailing in. And what's even more fascinating is I have been to his grave on a plantation outside of Charleston. And to see your first descendant that ever came to the United States, their grave and headstone, it was amazing. The headstone was made out of slate, and slate doesn't weather. And it was amazing. I'm not allowed to give the name of the plantation.
No, you
but
shouldn't.
that's what
No,
he's
because
doing.
people are bad. People can be terrible.
I
And
know.
there's yeah. So let's not focus on that. Let's focus on we've got cornbread salad,
Oh, that's
foyer group. Oh, with Virginia Runge. What is it, foyer or foyer group?
Foyer. It's a church supper club we have at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, where I'm a member, and it's just like we call it foyer group, but it's supper club. And so, it's just like any other supper club. I host, you bring, you bring something to go with it, dessert, appetizers, whatever. But Virginia Runge brought that salad, and I fell in love with it. I asked her if I could put it in my cookbook, and it's so good. That's why it's called
It's so good.
salad.
Iceberg lettuce, romaine lettuce, mayonnaise, red onion, Swiss cheese, endive, petit pois, bacon, and salt, sugar to taste. Oh my gosh. And look at this one. Mama, we might have to make this one. Butterbean salad.
It is so good. It is
Oh
really good.
my
If you're a
gosh.
dill lover, this is your chance. I always add more dill than it calls for. It is so good. I mean, and it's easy. It's delicious.
That sounds so good. Okay, so we've got big holidays coming up. We've got Christmas, and for those that are celebrating, we've got Hanukkah. You just mentioned church, so I'm guessing it's Christmas. And then we've got New Year's. What is your New Year's Eve menu? What are you celebrating this New Year's?
Let me tell you, I have to, if I don't do it New Year's Eve, I do it New Year's Day. We got to have pork. We got to have Hoppin' John. We got to have collards. That's an every year of my life thing, except for 1 year. And I didn't feel right. Like I felt guilty I'm still feeling guilty 30 years later.
No, I feel you.
So I'll probably, the pork I may cook on my smoker, and my collards, I cook them with a lot of sweetener or sugar and bacon. And then I take them out the liquid, and then I pan fry them with bacon. And they're really good. Like I said, I'm not the doctor. I'm the chef.
I love that. I cook them with a lot of sugar and bacon, and then I dry them out and I cook them with more bacon. They sound amazing, and I'm with you. I'm right there with you. I did not have that classic combination one time, and it felt terrible.
Yeah.
I was in Paris, and I even sought out this like Southern restaurant in one of the outer arrondissements, and then we got there and it was closed. This is like before cell phones. Okay, chicken bog. Let's talk a little bit about some of these classic Charleston dishes, right? So not just entertaining, but Charleston's famous for rice. Charleston's famous for like the bogs and the purlus and the pilaus and all that kind of stuff. So what if your recipes speak to that, the Charleston things?
Well, I did some research on a lot of the things that I wrote about, and chicken bog to me has always been something inexpensive that you can make large quantities of to serve a lot of people, and just you need salad and bread and you're set. And it's so easy to make the rice, go buy a couple of chickens already baked, and depending on what you want to put in it, I put mushrooms in it sometime. I saute celery and onions. And you just end up mixing it all together, but it just makes this fabulous dish, and a lot of it. And, I'm a rice person. I can give or take potatoes. Rice, I could eat rice and gravy. I could eat every day, or rice and anything I could eat every day.
Well, I mean, it's in your blood, literally. You know what I mean? You've got rice in your blood, 11 generations in Charleston. You kind of can't help yourself with that. I know. I get it, right? Like when I was little, and I think I didn't like. I know I didn't like it. I liked potatoes and rice, and my grandmother would tease me because my father was from Massachusetts, and she said to me one time it was the Yankee in me that liked the potatoes.
Oh no.
I know. I think I was probably like 7, and it is still wormholed in my brain. I'm like, but the only thing my friend, last note on that, my friend did point out when I was in college that if my daddy was a Yankee, that at least he was like a real Yankee, like from Massachusetts. You know what I mean? Like a New Englander. But anyway, enough of that. Banana pudding. Look at the banana pudding.
Yay. I am a banana pudding snob, and I have been my whole life. And that
Good.
is the real custard, the meringue, everything. And a friend of mine gave that to me, gosh, 40 years ago. And it was his grandmother's, my friend Terry Floyd, and his grandmother.
Yum.
And I don't mean this negatively to anybody who makes banana pudding another way, but I just do not want fake banana pudding in my house. And so I'm very careful about if somebody's bringing a dessert, I'm like, what are you bringing? And they're like, oh, we're bringing banana pudding. Well, I know it's not going to be custard like mine. I'm like, oh, I've already got that. I'm telling my secrets, but I'll,
No, honey, that's good. Well, you know what? We'll have everyone will know now. We'll get it out there that no fake banana pudding, no terrible banana pudding. Like if you're going to be a snob about something, I solidly support banana pudding snobbery. I really do. Life is too short to have crappy banana pudding.
No.
Okay, we've got Jimmy. Everyone's on this bandwagon. Oh, hail scratch pudding. And my mama's even going, yay for you. Oh my God. Okay. And then Jimmy says that his husband, I think it's Carl from the porch on Instagram. Is that right, Jimmy? I can't remember. Makes really good banana pudding, but I helped and it's fantastic. That's awesome. Yay. And then Jeff Waits is saying, glad about the banana pudding. That sells me. So this is it, y'all. This is it. Like a man that does not allow inferior banana pudding in his house has got a damn good cookbook. So let's all right, so it's got so much beautiful food photography, but I really just, y'all, it is like a coffee table book.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Pam Hennett did an amazing job.
It's so awesome. It's just so awesome. So y'all, you can win a copy. I want you to go to my Instagram page and you're going to see the cover of the book. You're going to like Virginia Willis and you're going to like A Taste of Living in Charleston. And this is going to go on all weekend. I'd love it. We're going to post this video to IGTV after the fact, so you'll be able to catch it if you've had to leave. I would love for folks to share it. So if you're watching this on Facebook, if you can just hit share, that would be great. All right, Bobby, I've got a couple questions for you. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. All right, so we have talked about all these delicious dishes and the olive spread and the collard greens and the banana pudding and the bog. So all of the flavors, are you sour, salty, bitter, sweet, or savory? Like what's your go-to?
Sweet. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, you did say putting
I use a lot of sweetener in a lot of my dishes. I use a lot of sugar substitute in a lot of my dishes. I mean, even the stewed cabbage. Yeah.
You put a little sugar in your stewed cabbage, but you know, just a dab will do. And part of it is about balance, right? But I could see that, the sweetness. All right. There's another question is that, we have so many different ways to watch content, right? We've got phones, we've got computers, we've got, the television. We're always looking at, and in a way it can be overwhelming, but in a way, I think it's really inspiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the folks that you like to look to?
Well, first of all, Cookbooks with Virginia, but since that's off the shelf for right now, my next one, I love watching Natalie Dupree's old shows on PBS, Natalie Dupree Cooks. I just love pulling those up and watching those. Of course, I'm in love with her. I know you are. And I'm old school. I like watching Martha Stewart. And, I love pulling up some of the older things. And now I follow Cook's Country on Instagram, and they have so much gorgeous, interesting food.
They have a really great Instagram. You're exactly right. Okay. And then I don't know if you know this, or maybe you're watching it that way, but all of Natalie's old episodes are on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm watching them.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. So that's super exciting. So Cynthia Graubert, you can go back and check some of those fond memories. We'll call them that. Okay, so another question: what are some of the cookbooks? So you love cookbooks. You've written this amazing cookbook. What is a cookbook that you've looked towards lately that you'd love to share with our viewers?
Well, one of my favorite cookbooks is Pond Top Edisto from the Edisto Island, the Episcopal Church. I love
Oh,
that cookbook. It's called Pond Top Edisto, and it's been out a while. But me being from the Low Country, Edisto's just down the road. It's lots of cooking like I'm used to, with creams and cheese and rice and all those good things. But I love that book. The women of the Episcopal Church out there did the book.
oh, how wonderful. Well, I would have to say that makes complete sense. And I love those community cookbooks. I love the junior league cookbooks, the church
Right.
cookbooks. Once again, it's real food for real people, and it's exactly what you say. What is it that you say?
If I can
If
cook
I
it, so can you.
I mean, it really is. It's just
Right.
exactly like that. So,
Right.
Bobby, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. They really do. I'm so thankful for you being a guest on the show today.
Oh gosh, thank you for having me so much. And I can't tell you how exciting this has been for me. And I will say this, I'm going to blend my other career. If y'all are coming to Charleston and want to buy a house, I'll give you a cookbook and I'll bring you a cake or an appetizer out of it.
Yeah, we heard
You'll get the package if you call me, if you're in town, one way or the other.
That's true. That's true. Well, they are in for a damn good time in an absolute beautiful house. Because when y'all go on BobbyShealy.com, I've been talking so much, I forgot to do all these things. Okay. So, see, this is what happens, Bobby. I was just talking to my friend. I forgot to do my job.
That's
So
okay.
for more information, visit BobbyShealy.com and you can find out more about the book. You can order the book. The book is, of course, available for order through BobbyShealy.com. It's also available through your independent bookstore, Amazon, Walmart, Target, you name it, you can find it, right?
Yeah.
That's so
Absolutely.
cool. Awesome, Bobby. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, okay?
Thank you. I love you and take care.
Yes. Wasn't that great? Oh my God. And I do feel terrible. I got so excited about talking to Bobby that I forgot all these things. So the deal is that to win a copy, you're going to go to Instagram. For more information, you're going to go to Bobby Shealy. And then lastly, for more tips, techniques, and recipes, go to virginiawillis.com. Y'all, so many great and wonderful things coming up. Lots of great guests coming up on Cookbooks with Virginia. Thank you so much for watching. Sign up to win a copy of Bobby's book. And if you don't win, buy it. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Bon appetit, y'all. Bye-bye now.